You ever notice how the moment you start waking up, your own family starts treating you like you grew an extra head? Like they're offended that you no longer flinch at their jokes, no longer bow to the hierarchy, no longer apologize for being who God called you to be. And if that's you, let me give it to you straight and clear. You're not crazy. You're not arrogant. You're certainly not acting funny. You understand? You're becoming conscious in a bloodline that learned how to survive by staying asleep. And nothing threatens a sleeping world faster than someone who remembers they were born awake. Now, I've watched this happen in real time. Somebody in the family starts breaking generational patterns. Yeah, that would be me. Focusing on purpose, cutting off drama, praying deeper, loving louder, growing faster. And suddenly, through all this abundance, the room gets cold and the jokes start flying in. They go something like this. Oh, I see you. You think you're better now. Oh, I see you. You rich now, huh? Oh, you too sensitive now. Oh, you always deep now. That's my personal favorite, man. But you ever notice that? That the moment you step into remembrance, people who never worked on themselves suddenly become experts on your evolution. Think of it like this. You're not dealing with family. You're dealing with sleepers whose entire nervous system believes that your growth is a threat to their identity. And it's not because you changed, but because you exposed the fact that they didn't. But let's slow this down real quick. Let's get into some of the logic. Because this isn't just some family drama, this is identity physics. Now, in ego psychology, really important, the child doesn't form an I by looking inward. It has no clue of being inward. It forms an I by borrowing someone else's self. Think about that. Because now, from birth to 7 years old, your identity is literally stitched together from the emotional leftovers of whomever raised you. Now, the significance here is deep. Because, see, if they were anxious, you inherited anticipation. If they were afraid, you inherited caution. If they felt small, you learned to shrink. And none of this is because you were weak, but rather because that's how the human mind survives early life. So now, in that way, you didn't inherit their DNA, you inherited their emotional posture. You can think of it like this. The reality is, your childhood wasn't your childhood, it was your family's operating system running on your body. And nobody upgrades the system for you. No one comes to save you. But here's the twist. The moment you take accountability and start updating your identity, outdated systems around you panic because they don't want the new version of you. They want the version they trained. So now toxic families aren't bad people. Most of them are just spiritually untrained. Because see, they've been running the same survival software for 20, 40, 60, forever years. So now fear is familiar, lack is comfortable, pain is predictable. Comfort becomes culture. Culture becomes identity. Identity becomes law. And now here you come, breaking curses like you're late for work. They don't like that. Think of it like this. If a bloodline is a house, you are the window that refuses to stay closed. So yeah, they're gonna call you different because you are. You are the immigrant of consciousness, the one who migrated out of mental poverty and into spiritual prosperity. You learned a new language, remembrance. They still speak the old tongue, fear. So, in that way, you didn't betray them. You just stopped betraying yourself. That is where the pain lives. When God starts waking you up, He doesn't just upgrade your awareness, He exposes your environment. Family stops feeling like family. Friends stop feeling like friends. Rooms shrink and they start to feel too small. Conversations feel too shallow. Identity feels too tight. And silence feels louder than ever. Awakening isn't always peaceful. Sometimes it's a spiritual eviction. Now, to tie this in a bit further, in Pistis Sophia, great book, Jesus says something wild. He says, you must burn the mask of mother and father in order to return to source. Not destroy, not disrespect, but burn the mask, which means don't let a title outrank your destiny. Watch this. Sometimes the elder in the room is spiritually younger than you. Sometimes the parent never grew past their own childhood wounds. Sometimes the family bond is just a fear contract signed in infancy. So now awakening forces you to see people soul to soul, not title to title. Think of it like this. Your bloodline gave you life, but God gave you identity. And if the two conflict, you don't abandon family. You abandon the illusion. Now let's pull this into your hands for a second, right into your soul, right into your lap. Because all this philosophy, all this spirit talk, all this psychology, it means nothing if you can't use it tomorrow morning when you walk into a room full of people who still expect the old you. And old rooms are expecting the old you. So let's do what we do. Let's do you, and let's do you together, baby. 5 moves, 1 consciousness. Faith meets functionality. We start with disrupt. You're going to want to disrupt the story you inherited. Ask yourself, is this my belief or my bloodline's belief wearing my face? Disruption isn't rebellion, it is remembrance. Burn the mask, disrupt the noise. Then you want to own it. Own the grief of outgrowing people you love. It hurts. Own the guilt of choosing your destiny over their comfort. It hurts. Own the loneliness that comes with becoming the first awake one in the room. It's very lonely. And that right there is not ego, that is evolution. You owe it to yourself to own that. Then you want to yield. Yield the fantasy that they'll understand you right now. They won't, and they may never. But understand this. Most people don't reject your awakening. They reject the mirror it holds. And as much as it hurts, let them sleep, yield the expectation, protect your peace. Then you want to observe. Observe where you still shrink. Around who? In what rooms? In what conversations? Awakening doesn't just open your eyes, it opens your data. So track the patterns, see the loops, decode the environment. Then you want to unleash. Unleash the version of you that's not afraid to be awake in a sleeping world. Unleash boundaries, unleash presence, unleash the image of God moving through you without apology. You are not different, you are restored. So breathe for a moment. Let the truth sit. Let your chest unclench. Let your soul straighten its back. Because you're not losing family. You are losing the mask that once kept you from seeing yourself. And on the other side of that is freedom, flow, faith, influence, God, the image and source of creator in you. My beautiful community of influencers, in our final moments together, let me be a humble reminder. To God, the all, the infinite, the source that breathed you into this dimension with full intention and zero accident. You were never meant to live small. You were never meant to inherit their fear. You were never meant to stay asleep in a house built on survival. And now that you know this, go forward with this. BYB, bring you back. BGB, bring God back because you own it or be owned by it. You either run the system or the system runs you. Change your mind, change your life. I am who I say I am. Do you and stay rich.